Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the compound where we are on episode 4 now of the pump track building series. And I'll be honest with you, it's getting really crazy. What's happened between the last episode and now is kind of blown my mind because I cannot come up with enough ideas to deal with what has happened. So I'm going to turn around and show you guys the development really soon. But first I just want to say thank you so much to all you legends for watching these videos and commenting, because the inspiration and the creativeness and the ideas you guys have been putting in the comment sections and helping me shape out this pump track and make sure I've got ideas in my head of what to feature has been so useful. Like honestly, you guys are, I'm really impressed with how creative you guys are. You've got some sick ideas, so thank you, you're legends. So compound, we've got the big scaffold drop behind me, we've got my first massive jump which has now got more sand on the landing because I had some leftover sand. I have to order more because what you've seen up that end has now used 20 tons of sand, so it's quite surprising really how quickly that stuff disappears. And when I show you what has changed now and the new developments, you're going to realise I'm going to need a hell of a lot more sand. Like I'm probably going to have to order in another 60 tons. This is going to be an 80-ton pump track just of sand. So what's happened is I wanted to build a pump track that's the best it can possibly be. I've got what is actually a really crazy compound. I've got huge jumps that I can ride. I've got a massive trick jump, a massive mulch jump, huge 15-foot quarter pipe. I'm really lucky. This place ticks every box for being a slopestyle athlete. What my compound has never had is just something to kind of keep me here, just keep me tied in. So I'm always changing what I'm riding. This thing, oh, I'm done with doing backflip tail whips. I'm gonna go and do a triple manual through a roller, or see if I can jump from that berm to that berm. That's what this place has always been missing, just something where you can't leave. And I think when this is finished, and it's the best it can possibly be, like I'm not building a pump track that the council would build or a playground. I want to build something that's like wow, and you never stop coming up with ideas, transfers. So that's why I'm taking my time with it and going step by step, including you guys. I think that's really important because the finished product is going to actually be mad. So to make this place the best it can be, I kind of just figured it's all very well using shovels, wheelbarrows, making little features using the ground that's here, but why not, as I've done with the huge jumps, get a digger in and just turn this place into an absolute building site. So just to recap, you've seen the roll-in and my block work, impressive I know. You've seen the 2 side boobs here, you've seen the berm, you've seen the triple roller, this down camel hump roller, and you've seen the rainbow feature. Some of you guys weren't so happy with the rainbow name, the terminology. I'm sold on it, it's staying, it's called the rainbow. So after that, the world is technically our oyster. Look what we can do. So this ground, if you remember, kind of from where I'm stood, the ground just ran continuously downhill that way, which was cool when there was nothing here. But building a pump track on a hill scares me a bit, because going that way is sick, it's exciting, but coming back is going to be a chore. So what I've done is dug straight down from here, and now all that ground is flat, and I've piled all the dirt up at that end, and it's all clay. It's minging right now. We've been so unlucky this week with the rain. It's just been chucking it down, and this is the first time I've had a window where I can actually hold the camera in the sky and it's still kind of raining. So I'm just talking to you guys today about what's changed, because it just looks like a complete quagmire. I've got the like beefiest 510 shoes I own, and they're just getting completely caked in clay. But as I've explained, clay is good. You can build really cool features. It's like 100%. Clay doesn't wash away, it stays there. If you build something, it's there for good. But I've used sand to kind of make it there's not 24 months in a year, that 12 month of the year like rideable surface. The pump track so far gets to the end of that rainbow, and then we've got this flat ground, right? So my plan is to have a perpetual pump track in the bottom of here that continually loops round on flat ground, using that bank at the end as a high section to maintain speed. So I want to be able to use that high section to make this whole area into one big bowl. So like the whole rim of the pump track is one height, so you can always pump up, get some height and drop back in and maintain loads of speed. So effectively I've tried to create a massive cereal bowl where there's going to be quarter pipes, hips, lines, And I think that's the way to go. That's not something that the council would do with a playground. It's something that I've had to get a digger and create, and luckily the guy who owns this land has a 3-ton machine, so we've done it all kind of in-house. Okay, so this huge mound that's been created from dragging all this clay back is it's about 7 foot tall or 2 meters high. It's really big, so you're going to be able to get loads of speed. And the other cool thing is, it looks like a boundary. It seems like from here the pump track is going to have to stop and be contained, but there's absolutely no reason why I can't use this as a massive jump box, or even a kind of like a tabletop, jump over the other side and then go into that area. So for now my project stops here, but I imagine this series is just going to carry on and on and on, and I'm just going to expand that way until the whole compound is rideable. There's not an inch of ground that hasn't been thought about and ridden. So plans, this is definitely why you guys have tuned in. You want to know which direction the pump track's going in, why it's cool, why it's not cool. So the rainbow finishes here, and presumably I'm going to have a lot of speed because I've come out of that berm off of a roll-in that's quite high in the air. Triple down roller, you're going to get a lot of speed there. Pump up and down from there, you're going to be chipping. That's going to be a fast part of the track. So there's options. These are my thoughts right now, but at this stage I'm thinking exit the rainbow here, right? Straight into a left berm to head that way and make massive use of that, but also have a split line, so instead of going left you can go straight. Then I've built this kind of nipple of dirt here with some leftover clay, and I think if this gets taller you could have a takeoff in this side into 2 separate landings there and there. So I guess that's kind of a 90-degree hip with options both ways, which is really cool. So it's going to change the direction of the pump track. You can go left or right. It's going to be able to be ridden nice and low, so like someone who doesn't want to boost the hip can just pump over the bottom and keep their speed. But it's going to add excitement because you're going to be able to get a lot of airtime, you're going to be able to trick it, and having stuff that's jumpable, trickable in the pump track is definitely quite a key focus for me, because if I want to be filming edits, how-tos, how to build stuff, I think we need everything here to be able to present this channel. And if I want to say, right guys, how to bar spin, I've got the jump for it. Okay guys, how to backflip, got the jump for it. How to ride a hip, there's one left and right. So that's the dream. The other cool thing about this feature is obviously if you hit left and right and then you ride the pump track, if you change direction you could ride that over as a spine. So it's kind of you could ride that in 3 ways: left hip, right hip, spine, which is cool. And it means it's like a junction where you can split off and make the pump track work in a different way, which is actually, a lot of people have been commenting saying you need transfers, you need to be able to change direction. So that's good news. Now, this big pile of clay, I think it's going to make sense to be able to pump all the way up on top and drop in. So we've got potential of a big left boob on this side to then carry on round, and then you're back into the rainbow but jump it in a different direction. The other thing I'm really keen for, in fact the other thing that's super important for me, is a supercross straight, and that's something so many people have commented. So what that is a long straight line of pumps, tabletops, different shape and size features, but the whole concept is you can ride them in various ways. So let's say you had a roller to tabletop to tabletop. Most people would go pump, jump, jump, but you could jump from the roller on top of the tabletop, then bunny hop to the next tabletop. And that's something you see in motocross races, supercross races, BMX track stuff. That's something I really want, and to achieve that, this is what I want to do. Pump track's up there, you coming round. I want to be able to jump or pump all the way over the top of that mound, and then have a sweeping downhill 90 berm, like a roller coaster, and then from here all the way to the end there you could have a wicked straight of everything. Right now I'm pretty sold on the roller, tabletop, and then maybe a double roller. So there's going to be so many different ways to ride that, and just doing one complete loop of this pump track doesn't mean you've completed it, because there's going to be countless ways of actually riding it and using it. That's the dream. Other things we need to talk about. This steep section here. Obviously it does look like the world's longest and raddest motocross berm, but we're not at the pit bike motocross stage at the compound yet, even though it's definitely something in the works. I definitely want to have a step up here that's rollable for just guys who don't want to jump jumps. But what's going to be cool is a step up to a quarter pipe or a tight berm, and then you ride the step up backwards. What Sam Johnson's come up with is the term cul-de-sac. So like where people live in a little area where you have to drive in and come out the same way, it's a dead end. So step up, quarter pipe, step down, that's then reversed your direction. So then you're back into the same pump track but backwards. So there's no reason you won't end up back at the top of that rolling. Because this episode doesn't have digging in, what I've got for you guys is quite some lengthy time lapses of the digger actually moving all this ground around, and it looks so cool. Just a big yellow machine swinging dirt. So I'm going to start those playing now and let you guys watch that. And while you're watching it, just come up with ideas, man. Just let's see some comments. Let's see some ideas. Nothing's too crazy. We've had some mad ideas, but I think the fact that I'm sharing this with you guys, documenting it, YouTubing it, is so important for then me to actually take your ideas on board, and you'll see it in the finished product. I'll let these time lapses play out, guys, but the next episode is going to be starting to build on these ideas. It's going to be slabbing clay, it's going to be slapping squidgy dirt, but it's going to be shaping up what's going to be the dream pump track. So thank you for all your comments, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing. You're all absolute legends, I can't say that enough. Enjoy these time lapses and see you in the next episode. Peace.